Hello friends, I welcome you all to this session on C programming. So in the previous lecture, we started with the topic of nested loops, and in that we learned about patterns. So here also we'll be working on some patterns. So let's say we are interested in printing this pattern. So the first thing first which you have to observe is how many rows and columns are there. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns. So odd number of rows and columns, if there are, then this particular pattern you will be able to draw. Why? Because in the central line, whether it is the central column or whether it is central row, that is 1, 2, 3, and then this fourth one. What you are having? You are having this plus. Likewise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Otherwise, it would have not been possible. So if I start with n as 7, okay, and I say this row as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and j as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then if you look this closely, so if I find the half, that is the integer half, so what it will come out as? So n by 2, 7 by 2, that is 3.5, but 0.5 will be removed, so it is 3. So when I is exactly equal to 3, that means this one, and j is also exactly equal to 3, that is this one, then what I have to do? I have to draw plus. Otherwise, right now I am drawing nothing. So let us write this program. Again, odd number of rows and columns, and at the central part, if that I or j happens to fall, then that should be coming as plus. Otherwise, write nothing. So let us come here. So if, watch closely, if I is exactly equal to n by 2 or sorry or j is exactly equal to n by 2, then what I have to do? I have to simply print that plus, give space, then write plus, and then give this space. This will make the program beautiful. And if this is not the case, then what you have to do is simply else printf and then 1, 2, 3 spaces, so that can match with the number of characters here. Okay, 3 characters, that means 2 spaces, and then this plus, and here also 3. So it is up to whether you want to remove these 2 spaces or only keep 1 space here, doesn't matter. So this completes your row. Then comes, yes, then you have to come to next row. So for that matter, you have to do what? Come to next line, that is new line. That's it, friends. Now you got it, how to work with this particular problem. So now if we run it, what will happen? Let's say 7, you will be getting this plus, exactly equal to where it has gone here, exactly equal to this particular scenario. So 1, 2, 3, then plus 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, then plus, then 1, 2, 3. Same thing you are getting here, 1, 2, 3, then plus 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then at the center, and then 1, 2. So in this way you are getting this plus. So once this plus is there, what you have to do? You just have to fill these spaces with star. That's it. So instead of the space, if you write star here, so how many spaces are there? Let me check. Oh, there are more spaces. So instead of space, if you are printing star, then you will be getting the pattern. So let us say 7. That's it, friends. Now look closely. Let me snip this for you so that I can show this to you in note. Let me bring it down. So this is nothing but the one which you were expected. So plus, plus, and then star, 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 star. So here you are getting what? You are getting everywhere star. Here also. Here also. And in the central part you are having this plus. So that is how you can write your program, and that is what your output will be for n is equal to 7. So if n is, let's say, 15, so it will look much better. No, sorry, bigger one. So that is how you can make program for this. Now comes the second program. Now what it says, previously we are having this plus, so this plus is also there, but here is a slight difference. Now in the this quadrant we are having star, then in this quadrant we are having 1 2 3, then in this quadrant we are having A B C. Okay, then in this quadrant we are having Z Y X. So what we'll be doing is, we'll not be doing this first. What we'll be doing, we'll be doing some different problem, which can be the starting point. Otherwise you will be getting confused. So let's say what I'm interested in here, let me copy this. So what I'll be doing is 1 2 3 and then plus 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 plus, and here in the this quadrant, this quadrant, what I want, let's say I want to write star only. Okay, then in this particular portion, let's say I want to write dollar. In this particular portion, let's say I want to write hash. And in this portion, let's say I'm interested in writing, let's say, what should I write? Take anything. Let me look the keyboard at the rate. Let's say. Okay. Now, if you look this is basically your parting number n by 2. And that is how your I moves, and in this way your j moves. So if I is less than n by 2, if I is less than n by 2 means if between this here to here, if I is less than n by 2, and what you have to do, and j, this number, that is the column, is less than n by 2, what you have to do is you have to print star. Look here. Okay, whereas if I is less than n by 2 and j is more than n by 2, then what you have to write dollar. Whereas if I is more than n by 2 and j is less than n by 2, that means this portion, then you have to print what? Hash. If I is more than n by 2 and j is, for this one j will be also more than n by 2, then what you have to print? At the rate. That's it. So your starting point will be, first when I is exactly n by 2 and j is also exactly n by 2, then you have to print what? Then you have to print this central plus. Okay, and then if this condition is there, then you have to print star. If this condition, then you have to print dollar. If this condition, you have to print hash. Otherwise you have to print at the rate. So let us do it. Where is that? Okay, now this condition will remain as such. Now else if what? I is less than n by 2 and j is also less than n by 2, then what you have to print? You have to print star. Okay, let me copy this. Else if I is less than n by 2 but j is more than n by 2, then what I have to print? Dollar. So instead of this I have to print dollar. Okay, Now if I is more than n by 2 but j is less than n by 2, that means this portion I have to print this hash. Where is that? So here I have to print hash, and now if all things are happened and this only remains, then I have to print at the rate. So I simply have to say else no condition is required, simply print at the rate. Where is that? Here. So if you run this program now, let's say 7, so that, oh, there's mistake. What is the mistake? If I is less than n by 2, then it is printing dollar. Okay, done. Dollar. If I is less than n by 2, if I is more than n by 2, okay, if I is more than n by 2, that means this portion. If I is more than n by 2 and j is, then only print this. Now it is correct. So if I run it for 7, so now you are getting your answer. That is star, dollar, hash and at the rate. So star, dollar, hash at the rate. So friends, in this way you can write the program. Now once you are able to understand this logic, then it will become super easy for you people to write the program which I will be showing now, this one. Now it will be very easy for you people to write this program. How? The first thing first is your plus sign, 1, 2, 3 and then plus. So this will always remain as such. We will not be playing with it. We will be keeping this as such. And this hash, this star, sorry, is as such. Again, if you look the program, so for I is less than n by 2 and j is less than n by 2, we are keeping it as star only. No problem. Now, here what we have to do, we have to write for this row as 1. Once this row is over, then we have to write this as 2. Once this row is also over, then we have to write 3. How to do that? How to do this? Do you have any elegant way of doing this? Any, if you think, there are n number of ways. You can print that I plus 1 also. Okay. Or what you can do is, you can make a separate variable also. So let us do this. Okay. So let us do one by one. Again, what we'll be doing is, for rest of the things, I'll be making this as space, nothing. So if I run it, or is it running? Okay. So if I run it now, let's say 7. So it is the 1. Now I have to write 1 here. What I will be doing is, one way, this is not the only way, this is one of the way. I can say int, I'll be taking one variable L and assigning 1 to it. Now, if in this place how many spaces are there? Space, percentage d space, comma, if I print L here, what will happen? It will print 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 in every row, but I have to increment it. Where I have to increment it? After this. So it is L plus plus. Now if I run it, let's say 7 rows and columns, then yes, you are getting 1, 2, 3 here. Okay. Now, where is that? So it is 1, 2, 3, done. Then here A, B and C, smaller, lowercase a in this row, then lowercase b in this row, and lowercase c in this row has to come. So it is for n, it is for I more than n by 2 and j less than n by 2. So here I have to have A, B and C. How to do it? How to do it? I think you can use your ASCII values. Okay. So where is the code? Okay. So here in this place, when I is more than n by 2 and j is less than n by 2, what you can do is you can print ASCII value for lowercase a. So let us take another variable, let's say int m, and assign, what is this? It is, I think, 96, 97 it is. So 97. Okay. So if I write 97, okay, then if I print this as a character, so space percentage c space, and then here let me write that m. Okay. Now what will happen if I write? So it will write 97. That means a in every here it will write a and a, because I have not incremented it. What do I mean by this? Let me run this and show you. So if I write 7, so it will give me a. So for every row here, it has to print what? It has to increment it. But the thing is, friends, it should only increment for the cases when n is more than n by 2. Otherwise, what will happen? So this will happen. So the sequence can get disturbed, because for these cases, it should not be repeating, or it should not be incrementing them. So we have to restrict this particular to increase only when n is more than, so when I is more than n by 2, that is this particular row it should crossed. Okay, so here what where's the program? Here what I will be doing is, I'll be writing a condition. What is the condition? If I is more than n by 2, then what I have to do? I have to increment that m. Now what will happen? For every I more than n by 2, this will increase. Otherwise, what would have happened? Let me show this to you. If I do this, where is the code? Let me first do this correct way. Okay, if I run this, I'll again take 7. So it is A, B and C. Now what will happen if I don't increment using this particular condition? If I simply increment here, if I say m plus plus, and if I run it now, then this is what it will happen. EFG. You know why it is happening EFG? Because initially it is starting with 97. Okay. Now it is going, and then it will come out of this inner loop. Once it come out, it will increment. So A will become B, then again B will become C, then again D, then D is here, then it will come again and become E, and then that E will be printed and in the next iteration, and then so on it will happen. So what you should be doing is, you will be starting with this A, and there you have to have what? You have to have this condition, and if you use this condition, it doesn't matter where you start. Let's say 15 I am starting, so it will be A, B, C, D, E, F and so on. Now in this case, if you look the program closely, what it says, capital Z here, then capital Y here, then capital X here. So now you have guessed it right that this is capital Z. Then for the next row, it is Z minus 1. So what is the ASCII value of Z? It is 90. So if this is 90, then it should become 89. It should become 88 and so on. Okay. And again, this we are doing what? This we are doing beneath this row. That means I should be more than n by 2. Then I will be doing this decrementation of Z. So let us take one variable again. N is there, L, M, N is there. Let's say P, and assign that 90. Okay, and here else in this else, what I have to print? Let's say I am printing this character, that is P. So if I simply do it, what will happen? P will always remain that capital Z. Let me run this and show. So it will capital Z. I have to decrement it. So I have to go inside this and then decrement it. Got the point? Otherwise, what will happen? It will start with what? z, and then it will decrement, then it will decrement, then it will decrement, and then come. So all the special characters will come. So if I run it now and then say 7, so that is your program. Congratulations, now you have your program ready. So friends, in this way you can write your program for this particular problem. It is simple, isn't it? So why it is simple? Because you were able to draw this first. Then you have extended the program for different quadrants, and then in different quadrants you have juggled with different numbers or characters, and then comes this program. Now, is it very difficult for you to draw? No, not at all. It is a very simple thing now. What you have to draw first? Plus. Okay. Once this plus is drawn, then you have to do what? Then you have to, friends, write this star. So this is I0, this is I1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, what is my n here? It is 7. So this is what? N minus 1. Very good. This is J0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is this? This is again n minus 1j. Now here, if I say when I is 0 or I is n minus 1. If I is 0 or I is n minus 1, then do what? Then print star. Let me do this. Let me do this and see what happens. So this plus is okay. Let me do this. Okay. If I is exactly equal to 0 or where is or I is exactly equal to n minus 1, then what I have to do? I have to draw a star. What was my else? I will be drawing that space. So how many spaces are there? I have to check 1, 2, 3, because there are 3 characters. 1, 2, 3. Here also 1, 2, 3 characters. Okay. Then I have to. What is the requirement? This is not at all required, or this is also not required. Okay. Now, so this plus sign I'm not touching at all because that is required. Now saying if I is 0 or I is n minus 1, then print a star. Look here. If I is 0 or I is n minus 1, then I have to print a star. Okay, so let me run this. So let's say it is 7. Yeah, you have it. You look, star, 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 star. Similarly, what you can do is, look, if j is 0 or j is n minus 1. If j is 0 or j is n minus 1, you have to print star. So in the same condition, you write or j is 0 or j is n minus 1, we have to print star. The moment you run this program, oh, it is already running, sorry. So the moment you run this program, and let's say it is 7, now you are getting your answer. Star, this plus is remaining intact, and then these stars, and that's it. So it is so simple, friends, isn't it? So writing patterns are not very difficult, but the thing is you have to understand the logic behind every statement or every character whatsoever is there in your what we call it, pattern. Okay, so in this way, friends, you can solve the problems. What I'll do, I'll come with 2-3 more problems of pattern printing in the next lecture, and then we will be closing this particular loop, and we will be entering into the what we call functions. So in this lecture, till this point only, thank you very much for watching it. Take care.